Louis Edward Bokar is here with me today on the Live Wire show. You all do not know how exciting this is for me because Louis said yes. I asked him probably about 10 days ago, and I probably asked him to do something with me for 2 years, and I always get a no. So, and we have to talk about it. We have a whole conversation, but the yes just came. And so, Louis, thank you for saying yes. I am honored to have you on the Live Wire show today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And Louis is my best friend that I met. It has to be about 8 years ago now. 8 years ago. And I met him at a quinceanera of a mutual acquaintance of ours. And he came up to me, like, for all of you who know Louis, he came up to me and just started talking to me because that's who Louis is. He's just a kind person. And I'm like, who is this crazy man? And now this crazy man is my best friend. He is my circle of genius. If we're talking about the Live Wire show today, he is in my circle of genius and he believes in my Live Wire. And I just want to say thanks, Louis. And let's talk all about Louis Edward Bokar today. And let's talk about how the Live Wire circuit has impacted your life and what those circuits are. So we have mindset, we have mindset, physical being, we have circle of genius, financial, we have adventure, baby. And then we are creating some impact. And that's what the two of us are doing together and have done together for probably the last 4 years now, is you and me, baby. We create impact. I know you do it more behind the scenes because that's who you are. You like to be behind the scenes. So today you are front and center, honey. Let's go and have some fun. You ready? You ready to have fun?
I'm ready to step out of my comfort zone because this is being so visible, something that I don't like to do. But because you asked and you did get me in a good mood because I don't know. So here I am. And the 6 live wires that you've written about, I subscribe to. They have completely impacted my life for the better. Starting with the mindset and journaling. I never wrote my entire life. And the journaling that I've been doing over the past 3 years, the self-analysis has taken me to a whole new level of clarity and authenticity that that's for a whole nother story. But mindset and journaling, then your nutrition and cooking with color, movement, walking. And
hey, you move. Where's Louis? There's Louis B. Walking his dogs, my dogs. Well, whoever needs help with the dog, Louis is always there to help with whatever it is. Carrying stuff up and down stairs, moving things around for people. You know, if you get Louis when he is in charge of all the parties that he runs, he never stops. I'll look at him. I'm like, Louis, are you going to sit down? And no, he doesn't sit down. And speaking of conducting and heading out parties, wait, I brought a little prop that I wanted to share today. These boots, I don't know if any of you, if you guys know me well, you know that I love cowboy boots. Like I have this crazy, I'm like a cowboy boot whore. And I was at Lewis's and I saw these cowboy boots and they're alligator and they've got the Texas thing on them, 1992. And I'm like, Louis, oh my God. And LEB, his initials are in here, Louis Edward Bokar. And I talk about the boots. And one day, Louis shared the story with me, which I wanted to share with all of you, but he gifted me these boots and he will never wear them again. I'm like, you can't give these to me. So Louis, let's hear the story about the boots. And this is a little of your past history.
So the boots were a gift from the bootmaker, who is Rocky. His name was Rocky Castile. And back in 1992, I had the good opportunity to be executive secretariat for the 1992 Republican National Convention in Houston, which was the biggest party of the year. And Rocky was President Bush's bootmaker. And those boots were made as gifts to us all for being there on the committee.
I'm like Vanna White.
It has my initials. Yeah, they're neat. And I've never worn them, I think, but once. And when Judi said she liked them, I thought this is the perfect, because when you give of yourself, one of the things that I've learned from Judi and David and their live wire in life is that when you give, you get in return. And I wanted them so bad to have those as a gift. But the boots were part of my past, which was creating events, and started with fundraising events for a presidential campaign, George Bush, the father, not the son. And then I became a federal fundraiser, putting on parties in the morning and in the evening. And then worked my way into 501c3 and 501c4 development. But the interesting thing was 13 years ago, I call it Lucky 13 now, is when I took ill and learned how to walk and see again. And it's at that time, from doing all those events and my passion for events and making people happy, thinking out of the box, I had to reinvent my life. So I had to reinvent my purpose. And I became a private family concierge because it was an easy thing for me to adapt my health, which was my number one wealth tip. So when I started living in families' residences while they traveled, Judi and David were an example of taking care of their dogs. I had the opportunity to see what spaces were functioning for them. And I started chomping at the bit about how to make a space function better for a family, even if they didn't want my opinion.
Well, he was living here, so.
Yeah.
Oh, let's tell the story of the first one of your first moves in our house. What I would say is what moved you to move, and the reaction of David.
So that's when David was having a dinner for his clients and had a special chef at the house. And there's this amazing table that the family has in this little dining room. And I've always wanted to move that big, long, rectangular table out of that little room and into the bigger room.
Well, you did sit with us at Christmas.
We moved it. I saw during the holidays how it didn't function. Everybody was stuck around it trying to move and get over each other. So for this special event, we moved the big table into the grand room and made it accessible to the guests when they had their cooking party that evening. I remember David coming home from work, and he walked in the door and he said, that's not staying there. It's going back after tonight. And I went, okay. and then I remember on Sunday getting a text saying, we're having the best breakfast over here. We're reading the newspapers. This is 4 days later. And it was an example of when you think outside of the box with a space that a family already has, and you repurpose it and you reinvent it. The amount of money you can save by reinventing and repurposing a space is it can be exponential. But the joy I get from knowing that.
Yeah, well, when you walk into our house now. Whenever anyone walks into our house now, it's so unexpected. And it's just like, oh, this is so cool, because you would think this is a space where it's always like just where the sofa goes, right? And then the TV is above the mantle or the fireplace. And we are not a TV family. Like, we don't, the sound of a TV, unless I'm watching it, drives me nuts. I mean, I walk into Mom, you may be watching this, but you know what drives me crazy every time I walk into your house and the TV's on. I'm like, can we turn the TV off now? Unless we're listening to it. So I don't want that house. And then, Louis, when you took it a step further after Nicole went to school, we had the big grand table, and then we also had our little round table in the nook in the kitchen. And that's where you're like, let's go visit your friend at Canvas. Let's go visit Scan Design and Canvas and make that little sitting area. Now I have this like amazing little thing where there was a round table. It's my, like, I'm like, if I die, I just want to die in these chairs from Canvas, because Louis I read my books, I read my paper there in the morning, and it's something that is so unexpected. So thank you for that. I love it there.
Thank you for the opportunity. My greatest joy, I think, comes when I see a family use their space and realize that it was there all along, but we reinvented it. We thought out of the box. And one of the greatest opportunities that I've had was when you all went to Park City for the summer, and that spring met with Rob at E2 and said we want to do a summer kitchen, but we want to turn this second floor attic into a workout studio. And so going back
wait, before you say anything, let me just let them know. So we've lived in our house since Nicole was 8 months old. And this space, David and I always talked about, and I think a lot of families do this. Oh, it's upstairs, and it was nestled. There's the room. Yes, there's the room. And it's nestled like next to Nicole's bedroom, which I'm in now. This is now my repurposed office. Thank you to Louis. And it was always like, I was like, oh, it can be a bonus room, right? It's where kids go and play and watch TV. And we just never did it. And once she was gone, I'm like, I want a workout room. And Louis, as my best friend, and has helped me with so much of my work when I was at Workout 32789 with my mom, and then even training people here in my house, totally gets what I need to make the best workout space. Because as Louis is a designer, he's worked with Reed Pasternak Designs. He's designed many thousands of houses and rooms. And he's not just a designer. He gets me as a fitness professional what I need. And this is the beauty of what we're going to do. So yes, so you were here and I left because I didn't want to be with the mess. Louis knew exactly what my visions were. And then he helped execute so they could come off. He knew the workout equipment I wanted, what I ordered, and how it was going to fit. So go ahead. Sorry, Louis, to interrupt.
No, you're absolutely right. We had a critical path. And, going back to that convention, I remember there was like 29 days from when the last baseball was thrown out, and this amazing staff of people who worked together as a team put an event together. And so when David and Judi left, we had 19 days to build this attic into a workout studio with a special floor, with all new walls that never existed, ventilation or air conditioning and lighting, and then install it so when they came home from their holiday, it was done, it was magic, and it was complete. So a team that we worked with, and with Rob at E2 and Rita and everybody, that was an amazing feeling to achieve, accomplish. It's like the goosebump factor. You're doing something right when you make people happy and you get goosebumps. And that to me is one of the essential components on creating a space that a person or a family utilizes. It's the chemistry that has to exist between you and the client, which becomes friends ultimately.
But you are picky.
Learning. I'm very picky, and I'm pushy, and I'm slow. I'm picky, I'm pushy when I come to make pretty. I'm slow. And
that's a good one.
That's a picky, pushy when I come to make pretty. Yeah, I'm being pretty authentic here. That's a whole nother story for another time. But those help me out here. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
what it is so he's going through this whole process, and he knows, like, if you've seen me work out before, I've got these jam balls, and one's like 15 pounds and one's 20 pounds. And I'm like, Louis, before I left, I'm like, I need to slam these balls. David's going to be slamming these balls, and I'm going to be slamming these balls. So I know we did a little video, and Louis is like, so they came in to do, they came in. It's like day one,
Oh
and
my God.
I hand Rob this ball, and I took him outside, and Louis goes, I told him to slam this ball as hard as he could, and he did. And Louis said, I told him that's what they're going to be doing on the floors. So whatever you need to do to those floors, do that. Like, I wouldn't have thought of that. I'd be like, I'm going to just slam the thing. And so Louis took that initiative, and now we slam it. Oh, let's tell the funny story. There's a cat that I don't like.
So Rob and his engineers and architects and team created a floor within a floor and a cushion and space, and nothing's going to move. The former dining room where that big table was is now a bourbon lounge with bourbons from all over the world on a wall of glass shelves. None of those bourbon bottles move when they throw those balls down. But they were getting ready to put the floors down, and the Isaacsons have a cat named Wendy, who, if anybody knows, Wendy gets yelled at a lot. Wendy disappeared one day, and she disappears sometimes for a week at a time. And I don't know, it was a rainstorm, and Dr. Graham and Seal came over to help, and we couldn't find
How long
Wendy.
had it been? 5 days?
Yeah, Monday. So this is Thursday night. There's a rainstorm, and Quincy, your cat, is downstairs looking up at the ceiling ominously, and you can hear this little purr. Wendy had been in the floor for 5 days, hidden. So Rob came at 10 o'clock at night. What a great general contractor and builder. At 10 o'clock at night, Rob Smith shows up with a saw, and he cuts a square hole in the floor, and we put cat food out. And the next morning, the cat food was gone. The paw prints were there, but we knew the cat was alive and was in the floor of the house.
And I got text from you that morning that was, I won't say the word, the F word. There was like 10 F, 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 F. She's found. He's like, I haven't slept, but Rob cut and he showed us the hole that Rob had to cut in that wood floor.
Yeah.
But it's all fixed up now.
Yeah. And then,
you were like, and we were like, why did you leave her there, Louis?
Pardon?
What happened? I thought.
Oh, then when the new furniture arrived before you and David returned, and we were redecorating the house.
Which was that? What furniture?
The old couch that was downstairs.
Oh my God!
And we had the couch folded up all week. It's a sofa bed. And as the gentlemen were moving that couch out the front door to throw into the dumpster, we hear meow, meow. Wendy was in the couch, had been tied up, and she was going to get thrown away, so we saved her twice. That's the cat that's a good story. But that's what happens when you're in the intimacy of someone's house, and you're creating something, and you're also very much part of the family, even if it's the cat.
Well, you do this besides workout rooms. He's done this with so many different spaces. Obviously, not only in my house, but this is what he did before, and this is what he loves to do. So, okay, here we are. We're in COVID.
Here we are.
It's 3 years after my room has been built, and the room was built because when I was at Workout 32789, I used to go to work out there, and it was hard for me to get my workout in that I wanted to get in because I always had people there, and talking to me. And so, as a business owner, I wanted to talk to the clientele. So I'm like, I want to build this room out. It's awesome. I have this room to work out. Then COVID hits, right? And I'm just like, thank God I have this workout room. to be able to work out in, and here we are. And I'm running the other day, a few weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and I go, why don't Louis and I get together and help people build rooms? Because, you know, if you're looking at the science, it's really not safe to go back to these gyms. I mean, it's a little bit different. There's some little echo. I don't know. I hear some clicking. So right now, people don't want to go back to their workout places. Even if you do, you've got to work in a 4x6 mat. You've got to clean right away. So I'm going, why wouldn't we help people design spaces that they have in the comfort of their home? And I call Louis right away as I'm sweaty. And I call Louis with lots of ideas, but he's like, yeah, we could do this as a team. Like, I can't do this by myself. I have all this 30 years of background, and I can go talk to a person and know the right equipment that they need, but it's to make pretty. Like, this is the coolest thing that Louis and I, we are an effing amazing team. Like, and we can just help people. My passion is for everybody to be working out. And for me, that's movement. It might be yoga. It might be Pilates. It might be, you know, functional training. And I like my balls and my bands and my TRXs and my weights. But I can help anybody find the right equipment for them. And I've got great vendors and stuff. And Louis just has his eye and his genuine kindness, and he knows how to make pretty. He's been doing it since you were like, how old, Louis, with your Christmas trees and your whatever you make pretty with your whole life?
I've been doing holidays and trying to make people happy ever since I was a little kid, and maybe that's where the party planning comes in play. But you know, and then working with Reed closely and taking the design aspect into at a whole new level was something that really, working with the families, hit me. And you know, you're making me think about some of the fun projects that, you know, thinking out of the box. When we took a family's office and turned it into a baby's nursery without the family knowing if they were going to have a boy or a girl. We knew it was going to be a girl. When they came home from the hospital with their baby girl, they had no idea that what they were going to see when they came home. So, getting back on tangent, what were you saying? Can I
Together
hear
you? And
yeah,
it's just
okay, there we go.
Can you hear me? Oh, sorry, I think I was
I
muted. But
yeah.
it's us doing what we do best together. Louis, your phone is making a noise. Okay, there. So doing what we do best together. I'm going in and I'm going to help them my way. You're going to help them your way, and we are going to make everybody feel like $1 million. We want to listen to what their ideas are. We want to go and we're calling it play. We're going to go in, we're planting the seed with them. That's their idea. L is for living inspired. Living inspired is, baby, goosebump factor. It's like when we talk about it, we want to hear what inspires you, what excites you. Why do you want to get better and live better and have this space, right? And then A, that's mine, taking action. It's like, okay, don't let the start be the thing that stops you. That's my mantra. I love it. It's like, let's go, baby. And then why? Yearn for growth. Have that growth mindset. Snap that band, get your mind right, and continue to make your health your number one wealth. Mind, body, and soul will be singing with us behind you. I promise you. And we're working on my mom has this room right now that she calls her workout room, and we went to see it. We're going to show you all of this stuff. We went to see this room, and we're like, my mom's like, this is my workout room. We're like, we can help you. So we're going to help her do that. We've got a place we're working on a room in New York because we can do it virtually. I'm helping one of my clients here in Winter Park. So we've got a bunch of these places that we're excited to show you. And I mean, play is the way, right, Louis?
The size of the room, there's a project in town here that we have, which is 8.5 feet by 8.5 feet. That's a small space, But with Judi creating and looking at all the equipment that fits the space, she comes up with these amazing, we listen and learn from you and what your needs are. And then what I can do is what I love to do is make it sort of function to your overall needs. And where Judi's sitting right now, which was once Nicole's bedroom, what I love about that room, Judi, is you and David put your Peloton in there, picked out a nice table, the tulip table, put some art and books, and you have some exercise equipment. And that's an example of a room that's function dictates a family's, design.
I have my inspirations back here. Well, it's hard to see because I have, and the thing is, the reason you can't see me when I do that is I have so much light coming in this room. So I usually face out. I can see the green. I can see the windows. I have my diploma. I've got my bodybuilding stuff up. I get to look right now. I'm looking at cute little David when he was a hockey player. I'm looking at my Peloton. So this room inspires me every time I walk into it. And so I never had my own office, and thank God I do, because now that David's home, he's downstairs with us all the time. And that's the next office that we will be working on in this house. It'll be David's office.
What's so important to share right now is each of us have to assess our own risks and what's important and right for our own health. And when this all started 12 weeks ago, I thought I was gone. But now, if you have a safe place in your home where it's convenient and comfortable, and for people who have certain challenges and you don't want to be around others, you can create a space that meets your needs. Judi will help you with those exercise needs, and I'll help you with creating the color, the texture, the inspiration that makes you want to go in there and hit those 6 live wires that charge you up and make a difference, whether it's the mindset, food and nutrition, movement, your circle of genius. I'm alive today because I believe I subscribe to these 6 live wires. I had no idea I'd be working with a physical genius like Judi, who's been in this industry for 35 years. I am the last person that when you look at you.
But David thanks God for you every day.
Oh my God.
David's like, oh my God, thank God Louis is here, because I don't even know how he handles you. I subscribe to Ready, Fire, Aim. That's my, I subscribe. That's from Todd Durkin, my mentor, and I subscribe to it. And Louis is like, Judi. Louis is a perfectionist.
I'm still Ready, Aim, Fire. Yeah. I'm picking up Judi's shrapnel, because when she does Ready, Fire, and then Aim, there's shit everywhere. So I got to go in there and pick it all up. But at this age, you just keep going forward. And, that's where all these live wires come into play, where you start to really, it just hums and it feels good. So, it works.
And it's fun. It's fun, right?
It's exciting. There's chemistry. And
listen, also, we have fun chemistry. And if you're going to work with us, Louis is really particular, and it has to be fun. It has to be fun. And that's what you're going to get. And we definitely are both super passionate. And I just know that if there is somebody out there who wants help, call us, because we're super excited about this new venture, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be unbelievably awesome. I can't wait to do this. Well, we already are doing.
Let's make some impact.
Oh, yes, baby. Let's make impact. We got this. All right, Louis Edward Bokar, any final words for your fans out there? You have a lot of fans. You do. You do. Everyone loves you. I don't know why you like me so much.
Thank you. I love you guys. And here's my number one right here fan. I'm his number one fan. It's Louis Valentine, the most recent rescue. Love you guys. I love
you, Louis. Let's make some impact. Bye. Bye.